In respect to the time that has been allocated to me, I would like to take permission from the honorables so that I keep the protocol in place and greet all of you. This time is not enough, but I believe by not extending a lot of greetings, I would have reserved another extra time. So timekeeper, note that I have extra time from this saying. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me again to change what has been written here, words of appreciation, to refreshing memories and the way forward. I want to give my speak in a different look, such that we don't repeat ourselves. So, Father Tat has already said much from his speech, but what we need to remember ourselves, to remind ourselves that this place that we are now calling Comboni Secondary School used to be one of the biggest defecation center we used to enjoy. And those who grow with me in the neighborhood, they know it very well. We leave the latrines and we come here. And the most prestigious one was the Ardeb tree, where you go up and then you release and you feel it, how it falls. So, with this little bit of memories, Comboni started to function as a school in '81. I was the second batch. We started at that building on the northern side of the cathedral. That was where we started, and by then, these buildings were erected by a brother who was an Italian. After 1 year, the first batch was in the second year, and we were in the first year. By then, Father Gaetano Gortardi, as it was mentioned, was the headmaster. Allow me to appreciate the efforts of the Catholic Church in converting these premises to a school. And allow me, if the Combonians are there, if they are not there, then the representative of the Catholic Church to send this message that the dream of Daniel Comboni has come to rest. That is, let us train the Africans so that the Africans will go and train themselves. And that is why, if you look at the genesis of Comboni, it started with purely foreigners, and by then we were taught the majority were Italians. Then we had an English master, Graham Smith, and then we had an Indian, Dario de Souzas. This again was a competition between the Catholic Church and the public institution, Honorable Minister of Education. By then, Juba Day was run by English. And that English pioneer, Barry Sesna, worked it very hard. Even though Comboni was open later, but it was competing shoulder to shoulder. And this competition overshadowed the other schools that were existing in Juba and even in South Sudan as a regional government by then. And we were proud to appreciate our colleagues in Juba Day who used to compete with us. And without that competition, Comboni wouldn't have moved further and to this level where it has now a very big population of graduates. So, the transformation started with Father Gaetano Gortardi as an Italian to lay down the concepts and ideologies of Italians in running out schools. Then, when we completed Comboni, then the American came in, Father Tat, and he used the American style. And there was a deep variation between those who were trained by the Italians and by the Americans. And after a period, we have South Sudanese, who was the first headmaster of our South Sudanese, was from Juba Day. He was, I think, borrowed from Juba Day, late Francis Okwake. And that was the beginning of South Sudanese now taking the lead of the school. And of the recent is now a Combonian, a combo boy. You used to say it like that. It's back to the face. Now, let us not be excited with the speeches that had been said before. Those speeches are wonderful and beautiful. As we are growing, I will start with the alumni group. Well, alumni, you have brought us to this stage such that we recognize ourselves. Now, most of you don't know me. Some knew me because I've existed in different phases. But now I'm an alumni. I've worked for different communities. I've worked in different institutions. But currently, I'm in the School of Medicine, University of Juba. There is no need for particularities, but those who know me at different level know me at a different position. You are welcome for that. We'll identify ourselves in some time to come later on. So for the alumni to move forward, there is a need to have the vision and mission. That is to say, we have to sit down and make a constitution that will guide us. Without a constitution, whatever we are doing will be of no sense. Will be just like the tukul, where you get through the same door, you come out through it. We don't want to exist in the tukul again. We want to have a house where we have multiple doors. Where you enter here, you get through another door, you enter through another door. In other words, we need to plan, organize ourselves, and help the Comboni School. But what I'm saying again is that let us not forget our alumni, our colleagues who have come from other Combonis outside Juba, because where are they going to go? We are now a different country. So they are part and parcel of us enjoying the fruits of Daniel Comboni. The contributions that we alumni have contributed are great, but this is not the time that we sit down and gather them. Some of you have seen it in different forms and another one, and it is all appreciated. Now, to move forward to our headmaster, we are proud that within 1 month's time, you have done something good. But let us remind ourselves, things in South Sudan always start with excitement, with big occasions, people are running up and down, but the question is, how are we going to sustain it? All our projects in South Sudan are beautifully written, are beautifully done, but where are they? Sustainability of it is a problem. So, for us as alumni to be happy, to rejoice, is to make sure that whatever we've done, we sustain it. And the day that comes like this is where we measure ourselves. How much have we achieved in that year? And what we failed and why. If it is our own making, let us learn to punish ourselves so that you feel the pain of it and then you realize that it is very important. As my colleague has said, if you don't test something, you will know how difficult it is. She has tested how to teach and she has seen how difficult it is. So, based on this, let us all take the courage to venture and experience in one way or another. I appreciate the contribution of our colleagues who have completed from Comboni in such a way that they voluntarily taught in this school. They voluntarily taught in this school. Even the headmaster, what he's talking of now, the salary that he's getting, that is the salary of a volunteer. And even a real volunteer will quit. But they have the zeal that Comboni should not fail at the time when they are now matured enough to run it. And let us clap for those volunteers first. Now, allow me to move a step forward. For our Catholic Church, as I appreciate you, I still recognize you, but I want to say that we Combonians are coming from different denominations, and this diversity has to be recognized and appreciated. So to appreciate it, at least the Catholic Church should step one step behind to give us room as alumni to come in legally, because we have been operating illegally, to transform Comboni such that we'll devote our effort. But if the bureaucracy of the Catholic Church is maintained in running the schools, then it is difficult. I'm repeating myself, it is difficult We have tried it with St. Joseph. I am a St. Joseph alumni. We have done a lot of things in St. Joseph, but through difficulties. So I'm just pleading with the Catholic Church to give us room such that we can come in and assist freely, and you just supervise and you get the report. If we are wrong, you challenge us. If we are right, then you appreciate it. Now, to move a step forward to our government, to the Minister of Education, I will be very happy that the Minister of Education encourages formation of alumni group in these schools, such that we'll have a very big umbrella that will work for the welfare of education in this country. We'll advise the Ministry of Education, will support financially, such that all the fruits of the graduates are shared by the different schools, whether being government or being private, because the ultimate role is to develop the human resources from all areas of specialization. Again, because the minister is here and I'm coming towards the end, I would like to acknowledge the efforts of the current mayor. His name is written here, but I don't see him. The courage that he has taken in executing some of the dreams that were laid down by some of the mayors, it is appreciated. But again, I'm pleading through you, the Minister of Education, let the mayor also assist education. And we don't want from your state budget. We want you with the mayor to make a decree that, first to make awareness and make a decree that let people contribute for the teachers, for the betterment of the teachers. For example, a decree can be made that a person selling tea, you donate 2 cups of tea every week. Those who have shop, 500. Those who have, the bigger your business is, the donation is increased, such that the burden is relief from the government, because for the government they have their own priorities, and we respect it because there are a lot of things that you are looking at. But for us, as previous students, as alumni, we feel that let that burden be thrown to the community, such that community participate. I believe anybody who is selling something, if you ask a little in the name of the teachers, whom some of us have described moving barefoot, whom some of us did not describe but express in their face, they are not getting something for their families. They are not getting what, they are getting what. And to adjust the salary, it takes a long process. Let it come from the heart of the people. They contribute on a weekly basis. But there should be a well-organized body in which the teachers should get involved. When that money is collected per month, it is calculated and it is related to the number of the teachers. So now it will be at the disposal of the teachers to decide, should we start with the primary teachers or should we start with secondary teachers? That exercise will give us a room of how to give incentives to the teachers. Sudan did that one in health. Sorry, I'm just left with 1 minute. Sudan did that one in health. They call it Damagajeri. That is the tax for blood. 4% was tax to develop the military hospitals. So military hospitals in Sudan were all developed, including this one of Juba. That before the coming in of CPA, the way you are seeing it, it was developed by contribution of any person in this country in one way or another. Ladies and gentlemen, let me end up here. Thank you very much.